Well, shit, finally. I thought we were gonna be here all damn day. I was pretty much here just watching the queue while munching. So, I'm bringing back my webcam. Let's go for it. I'm used to normal raids having long queues though. The roulette doesn't exactly have the best incentive, and you know. I think that's pretty much it. Even when I was going through the even raids, this happened. My first went through, like... I think it probably happened on stream too, but... I'm mentioning when I first went through them before I was even streaming this game. What's this? Oh! I'll save them! I... must! The fuck? Appears to be one of the warders we seek, but I'm afraid he's in no state to answer questions. Perhaps you can bring him to his senses? I know how fast I was gonna go, so... He's one of the caretakers here? Holy shit! That's a hell of an intro. Warder of the Condemned... Ericthonius? Excuse me. Yeah, I know, he's one of the caretakers here. He said he's one of the wardens. Alright, I gotta... What the hell? I'm trying to scroll up on the chat and I couldn't because somebody did that. Okay. Sailor Flail? Pure luck, I had no idea what the fuck he was gonna do. Excuse me. Hideous. That's not familiar. That dude just got fucking yeeted! He is assailed by ice and flame. My bones to ash or flesh to ice. Where the fuck am I supposed to stand? Over here now? No. Unless I was just too late. No, you're supposed to stand the opposite one, I guess. What the hell is this? Oh, that thing, right. Should have cost me my life, I shall triumph. Alright, welcome. Oh, wrong fucking button. Overwhelming heat. So I can stand over here then? No. Okay. I like that this is still kind of just oh shit, I thought I was gonna get hit by that. Kind of a remix of the Help This music. Help This. Which is like, you know, like the music was outside too. Was it necessary to go that far though? Feels like somebody LB his ass. I was not watching anymore. I was just looking at his health bar and waiting for somebody to use the limit break. So I stopped paying attention. Damn. What's this? Sure. Soon to be trash, right? But what the hell? I almost thought you went Lalafell. I didn't even realize you were sitting down until I went up to you, Crimson. It's like, what the hell? My crafted gears, but so it's already trash. Great. Poor guy. Oh yeah, you were a gunbreaker too. Yo, I like the outfit. I've never seen you wear that before. Holy shit. Lock on. It looks like you're wearing like a bulletproof vest or something. That looks pretty tight. I'm still working on the tank mount. That's the... Yeah, female gunbreakers get the lightning pose. The good old F of 13 days. That gunblade actually looks like the Lionheart a little bit. From FF8. What's that one called? Gunblade of the Round? Thornton Crafted? Oh wow! That one actually resembles, yeah, it resembles the Lionheart from FF8. Pretty cool. When did they release that one? Because I've never seen it before. The Thornton Crafted one that you just mentioned. If you happen to know. Or has it, like, been around forever? It's because of the new Ultimate? Okay, yeah, I figured. I was like, I've never seen that before. If it's Thornton, it's probably related to Dragon Song Reprisal. That makes sense. That's pretty cool. Themis? What's up, buddy? That was a thrilling display. And if I may be so vaunting, the warriors I spun from your ether fought even more splendidly than I had anticipated. I suppose they were cut from excellent plot, after all. Oh, why, thank you. You're too kind, please. They basically carried my ass. What he means to say. Susanna also got crafted weapons? Sweet. We should wait until this man regains his senses. He wears the robes of a warder, and I would be very curious to know what drove him to attack us sight unseen. He just came at us hella quick. Came out running and swinging. Literally, with those chains. Leon, he stirs. I like that this raid tier just kind of goes. Like, they gave us a lot of exposition, but at the same time, not really. They left a lot of mystery here. You just go. It feels very different from the previous raid tiers from previous expansions, you know? Like, we just got here and we're like, alright, fight! It's like, what? With the very vague explanation we got outside. It's like, we gotta keep these monsters from getting out, that's it, go. What came over me? It's coming back to me. My mind was filled with a storm of desperation, anger. I leapt at you, though I knew naught of your intentions. Pray accept my apologies, and my thanks. Had you not knocked some sense back into me, I may have fallen upon someone less capable of defending themselves. That's for true, yeah. The animals escaping the petting zoo, yeah. I am Erechthonios, a warder of Asphodelos, Pandemonium's highest lair, and the place we're in now. I'm wondering if the title's the first circle, the second circle, the third circle, or if they're referring to, like, the circles of hell. It probably is a low-key... It's like it said, the first circle are Asphodelos, right? Maybe it's referring to the circles of hell. One must wonder why you were so desperate to keep us out. What is happening in Pandemonium? Excuse me. The creations interred within Asphodelos have been set free, and stalk its halls to no end but violence. Well, that doesn't sound good. That is not good, to say the least. Has this ever happened before? No, never. Each level of Pandemonium is under the charge of a keyword, who keeps strict control of the most minute aspects of their domain. They're selected with great care, and their loyalty to Master Lahabrea is absolute. Yet something has gone terribly wrong. Try as we might to hold the line, the chaos within is overwhelming. I hardly realized that I had become separated from my colleagues. I remember a chorus of whispers assailing my senses, and afterwards only flashes of rage and fury. Then blackness. from which I awoke to find that whatever had overcome me was gone. I see. Your senses may have been muddled by magics that affect the mind, perhaps the selfsame ones that saw you separated from the other warders. Whatever had taken hold of me, thank you for releasing me from its clutches. That you've come here from the surface must mean some word of our plight has reached the outside world. If you know anything that may help, pray tell. Horror among horrors. But Pandemonium's protections are indeed being dismantled from within. By the same individual, or individuals, that released its captives and set them upon you, no doubt. Such knowledge avails us little, however, if we cannot ascertain their identity. Themis, was it? You said you worked for an organization under the auspices of the Convocation. Were they to receive word of what has transpired here, what measures could they take? His eyes are so fucking bright in this lighting, it looks freaky. Doubtless they would consider this place to be a lost cause. Pandemonium's ties to the outside world would be severed, or perhaps it would be wiped from existence entirely. Jesus. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. As I thought, were the creatures to escape into the outside world, there would be untold carnage. The words of La Habrea would never risk that, despite what value the research subject may hold. All the more reason to work with haste. If we can't expect further help, then it falls upon me to save the others. I'll not leave them behind. You would go alone. I won't leave the other warders to face certain doom. I know they fight for survival even now. They wouldn't abandon their duty. They would see the creatures return to their cells at all costs. And so I must do the same. Themis, I know the request I'm about to make of you is a monumental one, but please, say not a word of this to the Convocation until I've been given a chance to set things right. Forgive my rudeness, Erichthonios, but my decision cannot be swayed by emotion. You would only be consigning yourself to an early death. Strength of resolve alone cannot win in the face of an overwhelming odds. That being said, our investigation has only just begun, and we would be remiss to turn back ere we've made an exhaustive survey. So, for the time being, there is slightly more than resolve to rely upon. Okay. I knew you would be all too eager to join us. What can I say? I live for this kind of shit. Each moment since you fell from the skies has been more interesting than the last. More and more you remind me of my dear friend. Which goes some way toward encouraging me that this matter will yet reach a satisfactory conclusion. So you agree to help? For the moment, our goals align. The protective magics of Pandemonium yet hold, so for the moment, time is in our favor. Let us proceed upon the course you and Leon have set us upon. Like, leave it to me. As usual. Themis and Leon, yes? Thank you. The warders owe you a great debt already. All in a day's work. We shall be glad to have someone familiar with Pandemonium's halls by our side. A party of 3 is ever so much more entertaining than a pair of 2. Now, let us turn our attention to rescuing your colleagues. Perhaps it would be wise to approach the gates, in case any have followed you out. A party of 3 is better than a pair of 2, you heard it here first. seems our investigation will be quite the ordeal after all. Still, I find it hard to believe that La Habrea knows naught of what has transpired here. Whoever the mastermind of this crisis is, they do not lack for power and cunning. Under the surface. Oh shit. We're going in deeper. Deep inside. Not a sound can be heard from within, which means neither creature nor warder has made it this far. We should begin forming a plan to save them at once. Excuse me. Forgive me if I misunderstand, but do you mean to rescue the warders and creations both? Naturally. Although they may be dangerous, they're valuable research subjects. I wouldn't see our labor, our untold hours of study, go to waste. I dare say La Habrea would smile to hear you say such a thing. That is, if we had cause to report this incident to him. Smile? I'm not sure his face is capable of such warmth. I mean, that kind of lines up with the La Habrea that I knew, but... Ah, so you have met him before. I was under the impression he rarely visited Pandemonium. I have, yes. My mentor has the previous head of this... was the previous head of this facility, that is to say, La Habrea's predecessor in the position of Chief Keyword. Her name was Athena, and she was a researcher with the words. It was she who appointed me to this position, in fact. Okay, there's... Hades, Athena... I see. I did not know there was a Chief Keyword before La Habrea. Your motivation to save your research subjects is not entirely driven by duty to the words, then. You wish also to preserve the work of your mentor. You've the right of it. I'm lacking in ideas of how to go about that, however. I'm a mere warder and cannot wield intermittent magics. Interment magics, excuse me. Ah, but of course I can hardly expect you to be versed in the magics we use here. If you recall, during our battle earlier, I bound you in ethereal shackles. Interment is a more refined and powerful magic based upon the same principles. While both are used to keep our subjects docile, only the keyword of each tier is permitted to use interment, excuse me. Even if I were allowed, I lack the aptitude to use the spell to any notable effect. I like that he has chains around his robe, reflecting the chains he used when he transformed. Fascinating. I have some knowledge of these forms of spellcraft, actually. La Habrea himself established their foundation, if I recall. While shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time, interment freezes the very space around it for as long as the caster will. Indeed, while the illusory beings you summoned in our fight suggested as much, I see your knowledge of magic is vast. Perhaps you've already mastered the art of interment, and I've been lecturing you like a child all this time. I am afraid my knowledge ends there. I have not the precise understanding of how the invocations interact with natural laws that would be needed to cast said spells with any consistency. Damn. While I consider myself well versed in various magics, I would be ill-advised to assume the duties of keyword without instruction. That being said, if I were to learn more of interment and its inner workings, perhaps... Leave the fighting to me. You two can figure out the rest. I dare say we can do just that. Eric Thoniosiu implied that what prevented you from performing interment was lack of magical capacity. What if I supplemented your power with my own? Would the spell succeed then? I can't say for certain. I've never heard of such a thing being done. I believe it may be our best recourse. That is, of course, assuming you can perform the initial rites and incantations flawlessly. Even the smallest misstep, and we would have to start over. You needn't worry about that. I've seen the spells cast so many times that their motions have been burned into my memory. I won't disappoint. Very well. Let us work out the specifics afterwards. Once we do, we can test out our methods on one of the escaped creatures, though I suppose there is the matter of finding one. It would be foolish to run in blindly, lest we find ourselves surrounded with naught but an untested stratagem at our disposal. Nay, I would prefer to engage a single creature that Leon could dispatch on his own if the spell were to go awry. I agree, and I may have an idea in that regard. I recall seeing the hippocampus wandering the waterways during my flight. Perhaps it's still there. Few of the subjects housed within Asphodelos are fond of water, and I believe we'll be able to engage the beast without fear of unwanted guests. Then that shall be our first target, or perhaps subject is a better term. Before we commence with the interment magics, the creature should be weakened to a sufficient degree. I believe I can trust you with that task. What I'm here for. As dependable as ever. Once you have given it a thorough trouncing, we shall bind this hippocampus with the keywords magic. Until then, my illusions shall fight by your side. The hippocampus will be alone, but it's a daunting opponent nonetheless. Its magic warps the environment around it, and it will be at home amidst the waterways. Steel yourself for a fight. Asphodelos, the second circle. Down, down, deeper and down into the bowels of hell, basically. The hell is this? There's an announcement here. Oh, Duty Commence is now streaming live on Twitch. They're reviewing patch 6.2 right now. Show off outstanding fan creations in the community commendations segment. And host giveaways. Okay. Anyway, I take it we are each ready to fulfill our respective roles. Truth be told, this will be the first time I have practiced magic that requires such a degree of cooperation between parties. How thrilling! Athena ever drove home the fact that our subjects should be treated with the utmost care. It would be best if we could see them confined once again, rather than disposed of like beasts on Pharaoh. Yeah. The warder Ericthonios has brought with him the chilling news that all creations within Asphodelos, the highest level of pandemonium, now run free of their fetters. In order to prevent total chaos from bursting forth onto the world above, Themis and Ericthonios plan to utilize the interment magics to safely capture any errant creatures. If their theory translates well into practice, that is. There's only one way to find out. You head for the waterways to confront a monster of legend, a water-wielding hippocampus. I like how they don't spoil what the monster even looks like. You just see a picture of the area you're going to be fighting in and that's it. It's crazy. Oof. Last time the average wait time was 5 minutes and it took us like 15 to 20. Realistically, now it's 10 minutes. We're going to be here like a half hour. Oh shit. Kinda, oh, okay, I see I'm reading what you said, Crimson, because the queue popped earlier, I didn't, you know. Oh wait, you just sent this, never mind. A minute ago. As you enter inside, the press button when X is in this box. Right, it's kinda like the Suzaku minigame, right? That trial? Where the arrows... You have to make the arrows line up with the arrow inside the circle as it's coming in. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, so like yeah, those are like what rhythm games are usually like, yeah. Hell, even Guitar Hero and stuff like that, same thing. That makes sense. Yeah, so I guess my confusion earlier was like, if it's a joke about the next raid tier for Pandemonium, I'm guessing I can probably watch it once I finish the story here, right? I don't think there's like MSQ spoilers in what you were talking about. Because I was planning to go back to watching the live letters once I was caught up with everything, which I hope to get caught up with everything today, so. I'm guessing that's a yes then. Like I can safely watch the little meme you were talking about. Really? We're already on the second fight. Well, thanks for the heads up. I guess the story gets a little longer as we go on. Or do you just mean because of the queue times? Oh, the cutscene? Yeah, I'm used to that, yeah. Usually everything... Cutscenes alone for any content. Raids, Alliance raids, is usually like 2 hours. Or, no. I don't know, with cutscenes, and if you're lucky with queue pops, the whole thing can take like 2 to 3 hours. Usually, for each tier. With long-ass queues and the cutscenes though, yeah, I can see this probably taking 3 to 4 hours at this rate. If it was the first day, it would take us 2 to 3 hours because people... I know, dude! In a couple weeks, right? It's gonna be my first time ever in this game actually playing up-to-date content. Like, actually doing, the latest raid tier or MSQ or whatever, at the same time as everybody else. Because, like, I joined this game in September of 2020. When the next patch finally hit, it was the last Alliance raid tier for Shadowbringers, and I hadn't gotten to Shadowbringers yet. I think I had just gotten to the beginning of Shadowbringers, so I couldn't... By the time I got to that Alliance raid, everybody already knew how to do the fights. And then when the final Eden raid tier came out, I think I'm not sure why I didn't play that day one, actually, I can't remember. Yeah, because the final raid tier, the final normal raid tier comes out after the final Alliance raid, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, never mind. No, it comes out before. Never mind. They always follow a pattern of normal raid for 0.0, Alliance raid for 0.1, second tier normal raid for 0.2, second tier Alliance raid for 0.3, final tier for 0.4, for normal raid, and then the final tier for Alliance raid is 0.5, and then the next expansion comes out after that. That's the pattern they always go with. So yeah, that's why, yeah. So this will be the first time I'll actually be caught up when a patch hits. And I'll actually be able to, like, blind prog the latest raid tier day one along with everybody else in this game who plays this game. That's gonna be an interesting experience. I'm used to just being the only new person, kind of, who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. When I'm used to being the only new person, and then getting carried, like I did just now. They're trying something new with this next raid tier. Savage dropped 1 week after patch. Also, it's going to be easier with the current high end. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to change the pattern that I just talked about, though. About how they release a raid tier every other patch. But that is something I saw Arthur's and Zeno talking about when they were reviewing a little bit of the live letter. I didn't watch too much because I was trying to avoid spoilers, but they were specifically just talking about the raids, so I didn't mind. Because they were talking about the technical stuff, like what you just brought up. And, yeah, there was, like, I guess there was some drama because of they're doing that. I guess they don't always do that. The Savage usually drop the same week, unless it's, like, an expansion release. I'll have to ask my brother or somebody who's been around longer, maybe, for that. But yeah, they were talking about that. Usually Savage drops 2 weeks after patch release. I thought that was... Again, I'll have to ask him to be sure, but like... It sounded like Arthur's or Xenos were saying that that only happens at the beginning of an expansion. Like when Endwalker came out, 2 weeks later we got the raids, and then 2 weeks after that we got Savage. But then, so why is there so much drama around it? Because they were like, when I was watching their videos, they were talking about how, like, what you said, that it's going to be easier if it drops a week after patch instead of 2 weeks or something, and and that's gonna change it, and people were talking about how it might make it less challenging, but other people say no, and there was like a whole hoo-ha about it, I guess. I don't know. Like, Arthur was saying that the bosses are gonna die faster because of the fact that we'll be able to have higher level gear. Yeah. I'll probably just ask my brother about it later. I'm gonna see if he knows the pattern. Like, is this what they usually do, or is it different? I figured after an expansion they probably just released... Or no, sorry. Seeing how it happened with Endwalker, where they released the raid tier 2 weeks after, and then the Savage raid, the Savage version 2 weeks after that, I figured every patch was probably going to be like that. So like, they were going to release the next raid tier, the normal one, and then 2 weeks later the Savage one, and I figured that's what they did every single time. It just sounded, from what Arthurs and Xenos were saying, that that's not usually what happens, so I got a little confused there. So I don't really fucking know what the hell's going on. Alright, fuck it. I'm gonna go back to munching while this pops. Maybe this one won't take as long though. It's really luck of the draw, honestly. Going back to munching. Oh, I just realized, yeah, it's not only like a remix of the Elpis theme song here, but it's also, well, it's pretty much the same kind of theme as, what the fuck is it called? Yeah. What? Amaroth. Jesus. Couldn't remember for a second there. I'm still here. I'm just, you know, being a polite Andy while I eat.